Hey guys, it's Maylee. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing all of my 2020 favorites with you guys. I know 2020 has it's been a year. That is to say the least. It's definitely been a year. However, I was still able to come up with my list of 2020 favorites, especially since I've been staying at home more. It's really given me the opportunity to try new products, whether they're home products, tech products, doing things to beat the boredom. I love filming favorites types of videos and I love watching them as well, especially like the end of year wrap up kind of favorites because they really pull like all of them from the entire year. So I thought that I'd make my own list. I have things from home to beauty and skincare, entertainment, tech definitely. I'll have the links to all the products down below so you guys can easily access those. I have them all written down on my iPad right here, so I'm just gonna be reading them from here and kind of like explaining a little bit of like why I love them so much. If you're new, be sure to subscribe down below for more and make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and please comment down below what your 2020 favorites have been. I'm really curious. As I said, I love learning what other people love so that I can try it out, and also we can get a little discussion going in the comments. You know, we can all hear each other's favorites. I've got a long list, so let's just get right onto the video. The first category I'm going to be starting off with is tech. My first tech favorite is my iPad, and along with the iPad, I love my Apple Pencil. I'm not quite sure what kind of iPad I have, so let me just take it out of its case. Great, I took it out of its case and it doesn't even say. I think I have to go into the settings. How do you... Okay, this is the iPad Pro 11-inch. I just started more recently using it for things like classes, and that's like one of the main things I would say has really come in clutch this year. I never really thought that I'd be the type of person that would get into that because I always love having physical I always love having physical pen and paper. I just always thought that that was the best way. It helped me like retain the information. And don't get me wrong, I still definitely do that like for some classes, but especially for my classes, like my math classes and my econ classes, when all of the material that the professor sends us or like posts for us to use, like the review sheets and our homework, especially since it's all like PDF files, I can just directly import it into my different notes apps on my iPad and just write from there and then submit it just straight from my iPad. It's a lot more simple than having to print out the notes, do it on paper, scan like a picture of the notes, and then upload it to submit to my professor. I know there are a lot of great note-taking apps that people download on their iPad. I haven't really explored those as much, but I actually use OneNote and I've really liked using that, especially since I have OneNote on my laptop as well. So I can like work between my laptop and my iPad and the notes automatically sync. So if I'm writing something down on my iPad, then it'll show up in my notes on my laptop and vice versa. As I said, my Apple Pencil has also been something that has been a huge favorite this year. I know it can be a bit of investment, but I feel like if you're already buying the iPad to use it for school, I definitely think it's worth it to get the Apple Pencil. And another favorite going off of that is my iPad case. I got this off of Amazon and I absolutely love it. I know there are a bunch of different types of cases, but I would definitely recommend this one. As I said, link will be down below, but I did search like a good amount. I looked through all kinds of different options for iPad cases, and I'm so glad I settled on this one. It was very affordable. It comes in a bunch of different colors, but I got the pink one. It has a magnetic lid like cover, so it, you know, has that very satisfying magnetic click. You can make it into a stand, so if I'm watching like Netflix or Hulu or something, I will just put it up like that. You can also lay it on its side kind of like this, so I usually will lay it like this when I'm writing, or you can just lay it flat, you know, just makes it easier to write. I also love this one because it comes with the Apple Pencil holder, and some iPad cases don't come with Apple Pencil holders, so I definitely make sure that yours does because I think it can be really helpful. I know some cases have them on the side, but I would recommend getting one that has one at the top because that's how your Apple Pencil charges. And then I also love that it comes with this little like hole right at the top so that when I'm writing, I don't have to like put it back in. If I just want to put my pencil down for a second, I can just stick it in right there. And then if I'm like watching a lecture, I'll just like finish up that part of the lecture and then just easily take it out to continue on my notes instead of like, you know, having to put it back. My next tech favorite is the Canon G7x Mark II. It's actually the camera that I'm using right now to film. I just love this camera because it's so compact. It's a perfect vlog camera. I'm sure you've heard of it if like you watch other YouTubers. A lot of YouTubers will use this camera to vlog. So I'll use it to vlog, but I also use it for just sit down videos like this. The lens quality is just so good, and it's easier than having to pull out my bigger camera. The camera that I used before I got this, I would usually use my Canon T5i, and that one is also really great, like don't get me wrong, but I don't know, I've just found that sometimes the audio is a little just weird, and sometimes the autofocus, honestly, like the autofocus on this camera works better than my T5i. I love how crisp and clear the image quality is on this G7x. My next favorite is the Apple Watch. This is a Series 6 Apple Watch, and I actually more recently got this, so it's rather a new favorite. I have a whole unboxing video and kind of like review first impressions video, so if you're interested in that, I will link that down below as well. In that video, I go into more of the different specs and what the Apple Watch has, so if you want more detail on like the actual like Apple Watch, I would definitely recommend checking out that video. But like for today's video, talking about why it's a 2020 favorite, I really like wearing my Apple Watch when I go on runs or even walks. I know the Apple Watch is great at tracking your exercise, but I mean, I use that, but I don't really pay attention to the stats. What I use it more for is to listen to my music and my podcast. Previously, I would use my phone. I had like an armband that I would like put my phone on when I was running, or I'd put it in my pocket. But you know, your phone is a little heavier than the Apple Watch. When you're running, that impact when your phone is in your pocket, it would just like hit my stomach all the time, and it was not fun. I found that using the Apple Watch, you know, it's light, it's just on your wrist. That way I don't have to bring my phone when I'm running. I'll just make sure that I sync the podcasts or songs that I want to listen to on the run. I'll make sure I sync those beforehand. All right, my next tech favorite, this has been such a favorite. Like this is one of my ultimate favorites of 2020. I got this for Christmas last year, so 2019 Christmas. This is the Hypervolt massage gun. It is really interesting. It uses percussion therapy to massage your muscles. Again, this is definitely an investment product. It's not cheap by any means. So I asked for it for Christmas last year. I swear I use this every single day, and especially since, you know, I love working out, like whether it's running or strength training, like lifting, this really helps with muscle recovery. It's really cool. So you turn it on and then you press a button, and it has different settings. So this is the first setting, the second setting, third setting, and then you turn it off. You just put it on your muscles. I mostly do it like on my legs, like my thighs. My legs can get so tight, especially after a heavy lifting day on leg day. There's nothing that feels better than using this. What's also cool is it comes with detachable heads, so you can exchange if you don't want to use this one. It comes with 4 others, so a total of 5, but I am just holding 2 other ones right now. These are the main other ones I use. I don't use the other 2 as much, but yeah, this one just puts a little bit more pressure, and then this one is really good if you really want to focus on like a specific point. My next favorite is my AirPods custom case. I got this from Casetify, so if you can see, I went with a rainbow colored font, and then I just put my first name on it. But they have all different types of font styles, font colors, and then you can also choose the color of the case, and I just went with pink. Okay, moving on to the next category. This is gonna be like home and just things I use every day at home. First one is my background. So this is the Tezza collage, and you guys have probably seen it in like the background of every single one of my YouTube videos since I got it, because I've been using it every single time. I just love the look of it. I love the aesthetic. I think it's perfect for, you know, YouTube backgrounds. It looks great in photos. I also study like on a desk that's like right over there. So the background is this background. So in my Zoom classes, when I have to turn on my camera and like this is the background, it just makes it look put together. I've gotten so many compliments, and I mean, it's just fun to look at, you know, to have a piece of room decor that spices it up a little bit. This is the Dream Kit from Tezza. They have a bunch of different kits, but yeah, I chose this one because I wanted the more pink theme. Another home product I've been loving is my caraway pan. When I moved into this apartment and I was buying pots and pans, I was looking around a lot for something that was non-stick and non-toxic, but a lot of non-stick pans, they have something called Teflon in them, and that is not good for you. Like, there's just been a lot of studies that show that it's not good, so I was like, I want to find something that is cute but also is good quality. So I was looking around, and then I came across the caraway pan. I got it in the salmon pink color, and it's the only pan I have. Like, I have one caraway pan and then one caraway pot. They've held up so well. I use them multiple times every day. Okay, it's a couple hours later. My battery died, so I had to charge that, which it takes a while for this battery to fill up. Then once it was finally ready, I had to get on a conference call. After that, I got hungry, so then I ate dinner. But now we're back. So anyways, my next favorite is this ceramic blade box cutter I got from Amazon. This thing is so great when you're opening your boxes, you know, especially nowadays since I'm not shopping as much in store, I'm buying a lot of things online. And like, yeah, you can use a regular, like you can use scissors or a regular box cutter, but honestly, regular box cutters they're dangerous. This box cutter is great because it's a ceramic blade, so it is less likely to injure you. As someone who's very prone to getting injured, this was a good investment. I mean, it wasn't even an investment, it was literally like $5. So I would highly recommend getting this. My next item is a standing desk. Getting a standing desk was a great purchase, especially for this year since all my classes are online. I'm constantly on my computer, constantly working at my desk. I'm the type of person, I do not like sitting in one place for hours on end. Like, I need to get my energy out, like I'm super jittery. So whether I'm trying to avoid falling asleep in class, or if I just need to stretch my legs, you know, I've been sitting all day, having a standing desk has just been super nice. You can get a standing desk like from a ton of different places. I got my particular one from Amazon and it was the most affordable option I could find. I know you can get standing desks from Office Depot or like Office Max, like those office supply stores. My brother had gotten a standing desk from Office Depot, I believe, but his was kind of pricey and I didn't want to pay that much for one. I believe his was somewhere around like $300 to $400, which it's pretty typical for a standing desk. I found some good, like more affordable options around like the $200 range off of IKEA, but I was looking for one when I moved into this apartment and that was like the same time a lot of other college students were moving in, so they were all sold out. So the one that I have is from Amazon. I will say this one's not the most sturdy. I think it's because it was more on the affordable side. I'm sure that if you invested more, you'd probably get one that's better quality, but I mean, this suits all my needs. My next home favorite is those TikTok colored LED lights. I don't have any in my current apartment just because they have really, really strong tape on the back. And so when I eventually move out of this apartment and I have to remove those, I have a feeling they're probably gonna tear the paint off the wall. And I don't want to lose my security deposit on this apartment because of that. So I did not get them when I moved into this apartment. But for the first like 2/3 of the year before I moved in here, when I was living back home, I had those TikTok lights and I love them. They gave the room such a vibe, especially since, you know, you had the remote control. You could control whatever color you wanted the room to be. So if I felt like jazzing it up, having a little party to myself, I would turn on the rainbow setting. Or if I was feeling a little more chill, I'd turn the lights to like a nice blue color. Oftentimes when I was filming, I would change it to like white lights or pink lights. My next favorites category is all things makeup, skincare, beauty, hair. So my first one is no surprise. If you have watched my videos, you know how much I love this product, and that is the Tatcha water cream. I've been using this moisturizer for at least a couple years now, every single day. I've gone through a good number of those jars. It is a pricey moisturizer, I will admit that, but for me, I think that it is worth it. It keeps my skin hydrated all day without making it feel oily. It really just sinks into the skin so well. It's paraben free. If you're familiar with Sephora's clean program, they deem certain products clean if they're like free of certain chemicals. Next skincare product is the Sephora Collection Cleanser. This is another product that I use every day, twice a day when I'm washing my face. It's a very gentle cleanser and I like it because, you know, just does the job, keeps my skin clean. It's paraben free, has Sephora's clean rating again. And what I like about this cleanser is it is very affordable. I believe it's like 10 bucks. Yeah, it's good because since I'm spending so much on my moisturizer, I want to get a more affordable cleanser. Moving on to makeup, a favorite of mine is the Urban Decay De-Slick Oil Control Setting Spray. I know a ton of people rave about the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, but I personally, my favorite is the De-Slick Setting Spray. This one is a mattifying oil control setting spray. I personally really like the De-Slick one just because I do have oily skin, and when you're wearing your makeup all day, like it's bound to get, you know, you're bound to get some shine by the end of the night. But with this, I found that it helps keep the oil at bay all day long. This is pretty much the only setting spray I use nowadays. I use it every time I wear my makeup. Next favorite, so more recently I've been getting into into wearing false eyelashes, but with that, I found my new favorite lash glue. It is the Eyeliner Black Lash Glue. This one's from Target. It's just like $5, so it's very affordable. I've tried more high-end lash glues. For example, like the House of Lashes one. I tried their black lash glue, and honestly, it is a good lash glue, but I think it's just better to go the drugstore route, get the eyeliner lash glue, save that coin. Black lash glue is a way to go because when you use white lash glue, when it dries, you can see it like on your lash line. So you know, black lash glue, it just hides into your lash line so much better, especially if you're wearing eyeliner, it'll just camouflage right in with that. Next favorite I have right here, I just went to go get it. On the bottle, it says Finishing Hair Cream. I saw this on TikTok. It like had blown up all over TikTok, and then I heard some YouTubers talk about it. I got it from Amazon, again less than like $10-ish, but this, basically what it is it's like hairspray in a mascara tube. So it literally is a mascara wand, and it has like hair cream, hair gel, and you just put it on your flyaways. So I will put it like at the top of my hair because I have crazy flyaways. So I put it there and it holds my flyaways down all day long. My next hair favorite is these mini scrunchies. I've always been to scrunchies since they've come back into trend, but that was like over a year ago. But this year I discovered these smaller scrunchies, and I like these better because they're not so just in your face. You know, like the bigger scrunchies, sometimes they're like really big. I like these. I think they're a lot more subtle, and like especially if you wear them on your wrist, it's still like is cute. It's not a fat giant scrunchie just like occupying your entire like wrist. It's much better to use scrunchies versus a regular black hair tie because those regular black hair ties can be really damaging. They pull at your hair. I got a pack of these from Urban Outfitters like at the beginning of this year. I think it was like a pack of 10 or 12. I know the brand Slip, like the silk pillowcase company, they have some mini silk scrunchies just like this, and those ones are really cute, but they are more pricey. So if you're looking for a more affordable option, I would say the ones I got from Urban Outfitters are good, and then also Amazon has a ton. All right, and then our last category is entertainment. So this is like TV shows, YouTubers / influencers, podcasts. I'm gonna start with TV shows. So my first TV show favorite is Selling Sunset. I bet I've talked about it on my channel before because I was obsessed with that show. If you're into real estate, I'd recommend checking out Selling Sunset. It's on Netflix. It's about a group of women who work in real estate, and they sell a bunch of really expensive bougie houses along like Sunset Boulevard, the Los Angeles area. Especially since it is so close to where I live, it's just really cool that I got to see these houses on the show. And literally like the next weekend when I'd be going around LA driving my car, I would pass by the exact street names that they mentioned in the show, and I'd be like, I'm living my Selling Sunset fantasy, have my bougie moment for a bit. Another show I found this year that I really like is Big Little Lies. Big Little Lies, and also another favorite is Little Fires Everywhere. They're kind of similar. I watched both of them on Hulu. They both feature Reese Witherspoon, who is such a queen. I feel like that's a little bit late to the bandwagon because like all my friends had already watched it when I started it, and they're like, we can't believe that you're just starting it now, but I'm glad I got onto it because it was so good. Currently watching The Undoing, which features Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman was also in Big Little Lies, and a lot of people say that The Undoing and Big Little Lies are pretty similar. And so far, I really enjoy The Undoing, so maybe that'll be in my 2021 favorites, or if I finish it before 2020 is over, that's another favorite then. And then thinking back to the very beginning of the year and like the beginning of quarantine, my two favorite shows from that time were Too Hot to Handle and Love is Blind. That period of time feels like ages ago. Definitely does not feel like it was in 2020, but I definitely remember that I loved those shows at the time. They're both reality TV shows about people finding love. If you're into The Bachelor, Bachelorette, that kind of scene, then you'll probably like these as well. They were both on Netflix. Next category, since you're on YouTube, I thought, I'll share my favorite YouTubers with you guys. My first favorite has been a favorite for many, many years, but she has made 2020 just a bit more bearable. Watching her YouTube videos always brings a smile to my face, and that is Miss Remy Ashton herself, Remy Cruz. I love her videos, her vlogs. They are always so entertaining. Like, I swear she could literally just sit and talk about literally anything and I would love her videos. And along that same wavelength, Alicia Marie, I've watched her for a long time. Fun fact, I actually met her when I was in 8th grade. I went to like the girls' night in trip. Yeah, maybe I'll include my cringy picture here of my 8th grade self. But yeah, again, I love her and Remy's friendship, so their vlogs have kept me very entertained during 2020. A YouTuber that I found this year, who I'm surprised I found her this year because she's been around for a long time, but I've really been enjoying her videos, and that is, I am gonna pronounce her name wrong, I apologize, but I believe it's Claudia Sulewski or Sulewski. Yeah, her vlogs are very just calming and aesthetic to watch. I love her and her boyfriend's relationship. They just match each other so well. Her and her boyfriend also have a podcast, which is one of my podcast favorites. I'm going to be talking about my podcast favorites directly after this, so I'll explain more then. Another YouTuber I've been loving is Brooke Michio. This is another YouTuber that has a podcast. I had actually originally found Brooke from her podcast, and then I moved from the podcast to YouTube. I just love Brooke's vlogs. She lives in New York City, so it's really cool to see her post-grad kind of experience. She's just recently graduated from college, so I definitely feel like I can relate to more of the things that she says because she's closer in age than the other YouTubers are. She's another gal who she could literally talk about anything and I would watch her videos. And then my last YouTuber, this is more away from the lifestyle kind of category, but I've been loving Stephanie Buttermore's videos. She's a fitness YouTuber, so she makes a lot of like nutrition and working out videos. I've actually been watching her for a long time, like I would say ever since the beginning of high school, so I've been watching her for years. But this year I have just been so impressed with her videos because around this time last year she went in on her all-in journey, and I don't want to like explain it incorrectly. You can definitely go check out her channel. She goes really in depth in her videos, but basically she just talks about her journey and relationship with food and her body. She's just so raw and vulnerable. It's just so inspiring to see all the things that she's gone through this year, and she always talks about like now she's in such a better place. And as someone who's been watching her for so many years, I just see like a lot of growth. Like even as a viewer, just seeing her go through her all-in journey has been absolutely incredible. All right, and the last section of this is podcasts. So my favorite podcast, as I said, I found Brooke from her podcast. So Brooke and her friend Danielle, they have a podcast called Gals on the Go. I love their podcast. They just talk about all things, just like basically what is going on in their life, whether it's college, post-grad, advice, or they just talk about their life, and I just find it really entertaining. They have new episodes every Wednesday, so it makes Wednesdays the highlight of my week. Guys, I know that podcasts have really blown up in 2020. It feels like everyone has started a podcast in 2020. It became such a big thing this year, but I swear, I was into podcasts way before they got popular. I started listening to podcasts back in 2018 or 2019. So yeah, I've been listening to podcasts before they got popular. Just like to point that out. Another podcast I've been loving is from Alicia and Remy. Since they're both of my favorite YouTubers, makes sense that I love their podcast. Their podcast is pretty basic. Again, pretty similar to Gals on the Go. They just talk about their life. They also drop new episodes every Wednesday. So with that and Gals on the Go, it just makes Wednesday such a great podcast content day. I also love the podcast We Bought a House. That's the one that Claudia Sulewski and her boyfriend, they host. For more educational podcasts, I love the podcast The Newsworthy. But if you're looking for a good news podcast to make you stay up to date with all of the current events, I really like this one. It's very clear and concise. There are new episodes every morning. Usually what I'll do is when I'm making my breakfast first thing in the morning, I'll just turn on the podcast, and it's like usually around 10 minutes-ish, and that's about the time it takes me to make breakfast. So I'm caught up on all the highlights of the news by the time I'm already eating breakfast in the morning, which is awesome. And then my last podcast is the How I Built This Podcast by Guy Raz. If you're into anything entrepreneurial or startups, business podcasts, anything like that, then this is a great one. It's a NPR podcast, and Guy Raz, a host, he brings on different people who have started very famous companies. So some of my favorite episodes have been with the CEO of Tatcha, which is that moisturizer I was talking about earlier. She's been on it. I really enjoyed the episodes with like Lyft founder, Airbnb. There's so many I like. He has new episodes weekly, and this podcast has been in existence for a long time, so there's a whole entire bank of so many different kinds of CEOs, so many different kinds of companies, and their journey to start their company. So as someone, you know, me, I'm really into business and I want to go into entrepreneurship. This is something that is really inspiring and just great to learn from. All right, I have been filming for over an hour now, so let's see how much I can condense and cut out to make this video a more digestible format. If you have stuck to the end of this video, thank you so much. I hope that you learned something, took something away, found some new products you want to try, and let me know any of your 2020 recommendations so that I can try them as well. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below for more. Until next time, I hope you guys are staying happy and healthy. Have an amazing new year. I'm manifesting that 2021 is going to be the year. Hopefully, you know, things clear up. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye!